Jim.
I'm Rhenda.
We're Heartiness Approach.
And we are so excited to be doing this today.
Only so.
Only so.
I think we're way excited myself.
First day of our 30 days to get ourselves back on track.
And we're gonna pull you along. Whoa, almost got you. Pull you along with us.
So, you know, we looked at a lot of different ways to be able to bring this to their attention.
Yes.
To your attention. And so we're not going to do it scripted because people don't like it when we do it scripted. So that's okay. You're going to take
We are too animated when we do it. It looks like we are scripted
okay.
when we're scripted.
Down.
Okay.
So everyone knows that almost 10 years ago we changed our diet and our lifestyle.
Everyone who watches our videos.
If you don't know, go to our introductory video on Heartiness Approach on YouTube.
It's been a great ride.
It has
been. And it's getting better.
And because we're still here with each other and we're still not taking any medications and we're happy and healthy, right?
Right.
Okay. So I do have one question for you.
For me?
Why did we become successful with that? Why?
With our eating habits?
With our lifestyle
change?
Why?
We wanted to. I mean, we were scared. I mean, seriously, not just minor scared. I mean, 3 days in the hospital really woke me up.
With lots of needles and surgeries and, I mean,
well, you know, not that they're scary, but the implication of it.
Yeah.
It's
not fun to walk in and see him like.
But knowing where the path we were on would lead us, that's what scared me, because we had seen enough prior, and we've seen more since,
and as you know,
which makes it even more scary.
We believed that was just the norm, and that's what you had to do, and we made some changes.
We knew that it was typical, but our initial thought was, let's find a way to postpone it as long as possible. And maybe that's still where we are, but our mindset has changed to, we've seen people who never experienced all of those health problems. So why can't we strive for that? If we fall a little bit short, okay, that's a lot better than just giving in and letting it all happen to us and be unbelievably miserable. How am I doing?
So my second question is...
She's going to move on to the second question to shut me up.
No, you get to answer this one too.
Oh.
How did we succeed?
We were intense. We were ridiculous about what we did. I mean, crazy. I mean, we started by throwing everything in the kitchen away almost.
Which brings us to what we want you to do. If you keep part of your stuff and you eat healthy part way but still hold on to your favorite vices, then you won't succeed. You know, I know that sounds really mean to say, but you have to be...
We don't succeed when we do that.
No way.
So if you can, more power to you, but I don't know of anybody who can. And you know, it's part of that ratio, the 1 to 10, that if you do one bad thing, it takes 10 good things to make up for it. It's the same kind of situation. One candy bar means you've got to eat like 5 heads of lettuce to overcome it. That's not an exact, but that's the point.
When I was in my master's program for nutrition, one of the things they had was, you need to eat 80% good and you can eat 20% bad. I found I could not do that. Because if I ate 20% bad, then I could eat 30 and 40 and 50.
Why did they say that to you?
Because of willpower.
Because they knew people wouldn't do it. They could.
So they gave themselves permission.
But their experience, like so many of the professionals, is that their patients don't follow through, and so they don't ask very much of them, and as a result, you have something to say.
No.
As a result, their patients don't get as well as quickly as they could.
So we're asking you to be ridiculous. So
I mean, seriously, it works. Anything less than that prolongs what becomes inevitable for you. And
so let us tell you what we did a little bit. We have to eat because we've asked you to get rid of your food, and we want you to be able to get rid of anything that's hydrogenated, full of sugars, full of high fructose sugars, the wrong kind of oils, and you're not going to know all of this to begin with.
That's part of what we're going to be instructing on over the next 30 days.
I'm amazed at how we've learned things over the time, and it's like, well, I didn't know salt was bad like that. I didn't know baking powder was bad like that. And we just kind of peel the onion back. And it
seems overwhelming, right? I mean, that's why a lot of us
just be on the outside of the onion for right now. So we gave you a list last week in the newsletter.
She's been working on the newsletter
all day long.
She's trying to get it out of her mind.
To start knowing what to get rid of. You're going to be able to get rid of things a little at a time. As we go further, you're going to go, oh, I need to get rid of that too. Oh, I need to do that. And then you're going to go, okay, my kitchen's empty. What am I going to eat?
Supper's coming. I got to do something.
So I want to just show you what we had for lunch.
Like old Mother Hubbard.
Yeah. Well, Mother Hubbard went to her cupboard and got rid of the processed food.
I'm telling you.
So I want to show you this little video that shows what we had for lunch. I wanted to show you this amazing real food. This is spaghetti squash. I've just cooked it. You can see how nice and I cooked it with olive oil on the top. And we're eating it with turkey burger from our turkey, and I just steamed up my camera, a whole onion, and this is homemade marinara sauce from our garden last year. Then I took some Ezekiel bread, and if you haven't used Ezekiel bread yet, it's completely sprouted bread, and it's made with a lot of different kinds of grains of sprout. It's in your freezer section, and usually we just eat a half a slice each when we do eat, whether it's breakfast or whatever. For this lunch, we're gonna eat a whole slice just because the smell is calling us, and I put cheese on the top melting. So I'm just gonna take this and scrape it and get all the good spaghetti out of it. Get some of the crispness in there. There we go. And this is our meal. So we have a non-starchy vegetable is the spaghetti squash. And we have protein with cheese and with the turkey. And we have vegetable also with the onion. I cooked it, I added a little bit of my grass-fed homemade lard in with the turkey to give it some good fat. And then there is also good fat of grass-fed butter on the bread. And then this is a good carb. And the reason it's a good carb, even though it's man-made, is because it's sprouted wheat and millet and like 4 or 5 different other kinds of grains, which when you sprout them, they turn more into a vegetable. But I'm covering the protein, the carbohydrate, the good fat, and the vegetable.
And it was fantastic.
And it was all real food. Real food is amazing, 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 amazing. So, you're gonna start with 2 things this week. One of the most addictive things, if you are still using it in your life, is soda pop. I mean, it's bad.
The sugar part of it's bad, and then you add some of the other things. The
carbonation part of it is bad, and so.
But it's addictive.
So you know, let's.
I mean, recognize that it is addictive. It's not your fault that it's addictive. It's not your fault that you crave it. But you're the only one who has control over what you do with it.
Okay.
right?
Yes. So this plan takes courage. This plan takes perseverance. And first of all, let me say this. We're not perfect at all in this. We were perfect for 3 years.
We are sitting on stools, but these aren't pedestals.
Oh, wow, that was fast. You're so cute.
You don't want me to follow that up with anything?
No, I don't.
Okay.
So, yeah, I totally, okay, have the courage
Sorry,
to be able to get rid of the stuff that you're eating, but you're going to learn a little bit more. Tomorrow we're going to talk about fats. That's a big deal.
Well, you know, before they get rid of everything, you need to tell them what they should start replacing it with.
I want you to replace it with real food. Real food is a whole food that is in the shape that it was when it was growing. So today we had the spaghetti squash, and it was a spaghetti squash. We had turkey meat from our turkey that we know what shape it was in.
We knew what we fed it.
We knew everything that was in it.
We knew how it was processed.
Exactly.
And we were very confident and comfortable with all of that.
Absolutely. And then we mixed it with an onion that I bought that was organic, hopefully. And then
sometimes you do the best you can,
and
right?
then I pulled out my marinara sauce that we made from our garden last year, all organic. So that's what I put it together with. The cheese was organic that we put over the top. The bread was Ezekiel bread, which is what you need to be eating if you're not making your own.
So if you don't know Ezekiel bread, it is.
I told them earlier in it, but but Ezekiel bread is found in the freezer. It is all sprouted, and it's different types of grain, and it's the one bread that's out there that you can eat that you're not making yourself, that is okay to eat. It has the right fats in it. It has the right grains in it, and they're sprouted.
And you keep it in your refrigerator unless you eat it really fast, which is not a good idea.
You buy it in the freezer section.
You know, you shouldn't just eat slices
Generally,
of it.
we only have a half a slice when we have our meal.
You're not to overindulge, that's the point. And so, because of that, you're going to have it a while, which means you keep it in the refrigerator.
So what's the statement they say about spoiled food? You want to eat food that spoils and
eat it before it spoils.
There you go.
Which means you may need to take care of it by keeping it in the refrigerator or in the freezer so it doesn't spoil and give you enough time to use it. Or by small enough quantities that you can consume it. I mean, you think about a lot of places that don't have refrigeration. They go shopping every day for their fresh foods, eat them that day, and then go do the same thing tomorrow.
Absolutely.
There's a reason for that.
In fact, one of the people that I follow is in Paris, and the apartment that she's in is a tiny little apartment size, no, dorm size, and she thought, I'll never be able to do this, but every day you go to the market, get what you need for that day. And that's the way the Europeans have done it.
Which you think, what a waste of time, but it becomes a very relaxing social event, I'm sure. She's probably talking to the same vendors every day, great conversations, good interaction, because normally those people are fantastic people with good stories to tell about their foods.
When I was in China, we went shopping with our chef that we went, and he goes every day down to the market. Every day.
He gets it fresh.
Fresh.
So there's no worry about spoilage.
That's
Get what you need.
And then you use it.
Prepare it. Eat it.
All right.
Okay.
Now, a couple of things
Not as practical in the United States. We just aren't set up that way usually, and that's I think it's
so sad. Because in Germany, they used to come down the street in their little truck with vegetables and everything right there. It was amazing. Okay, I want to be able to say something. I want to say something to people who are vegetarians or vegan or some of those things. We're not against your diet at all. In fact, vegetarians can live this very well.
It's a great fit.
You just have to educate to know. Vegan, not so much. Paleo fits it. There's some things with paleo that we don't agree with, and so we eat differently. So we eat the Heartiness approach way. Heartiness approach. So we eat a balance of everything. And Jim, can you tell them the 4 things that we eat when we eat?
And you know, this is where it does apply to those who aren't consuming animal products, because we're not going to say meat, we're going to say protein.
A good protein.
A good protein. You got to have that. You're going to want a carbohydrate, not in excess, but you got to have it.
You don't want a man-made carbohydrate. You want one that is a whole carbohydrate, and how you fix it. And we'll show you.
Then you're going to want a vegetable.
A non-starchy vegetable.
Non-starchy vegetable.
And a correct is the word.
I'm saying, and a correct. Oh, you're not using the G one.
Right.
Okay, correct fat.
A correct fat. Tomorrow we're going to talk about fats, because you have to know about fats at the beginning of this. We didn't attack sugar for months. We attacked fat.
So the advice then for the people who are ejecting everything from their cupboards is go to the organic section, but also look for, from the 4 food groups that we named, some 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm hiding that one, that you like, but that are real foods that you're comfortable with, don't have problems for you, but from those 4 groups.
Right.
So if you're vegetarian, obviously it's protein kinds of things for the protein. And
if you're diabetic, you can still use these 4 things, but you may have to not eat as many carbohydrates. We're going to go over all of the amounts, all of that, but you're not going to count, and we're not even going to worry to begin with about your portion sizes. We just want you to worry about eating these 4 items when you eat.
And now for the omnivores, those who are going to eat meat, what is your advice on the meats? Because
enjoy it.
There are some specifics. So yes,
there is specifics. You want to do grass-fed meat, pasture-raised poultry, pasture-raised pork. There are really strong reasons as to why you do this, and I will tell you, when we were traveling in Nebraska, coming out here from Oregon a couple weeks ago, we came across a CAFO,
Contained Animal Feed Operation.
It smelled like death. It was the most
just breathing the air. I can't imagine walking around
devastating
in that
thing that I saw those animals in. And I was like, well, if I was going to be a vegetarian, that would be the reason.
How much of what was creating that smell is getting into those animals, which is getting into their meat, which is showing up on your...
No wonder they have to use antibiotics.
Should I?
No.
But I mean, if that was the only meat available, I'd be a vegetarian. No doubt about it. I wouldn't want to eat that, because you're asking for trouble when you do that, and that's what a lot of people get.
So those are your meats. You want to try 4 of those.
Yes.
Grass-fed, pasture. Okay. And the other thing I want to tell is that when we started this, we were following a doctor named Diana Schwartzman, and she has several books out there. We do not follow all of the things that she says. We don't agree with some of the things, and we really agree with a lot of the things, but she started us on this path. We have since mixed it with Weston Price and the cookbook that Sally Fallon does, that everybody has on their shelf, that the name is going completely away, and I'll just put it on.
It's not in your notes, huh?
No.
She'll put it down in the notes of the video.
I'll put it on across the screen. And then our own experience of what has worked for us and what hasn't.
Yeah, as we did things and it worked really well, yeah, let's repeat that. If we did things and it worked horribly, or we failed to do them and the results were bad, we're like, wow, we need to stop failing to do that. That's what we need to follow.
So just so that you do know and understand, we will talk a little bit about disease and the way food causes it. We're sitting in our kitchen because we want you to know that this is all about food. It is also about exercise, and it's about emotional wellness, but right now we're trying to help you learn how to eat.
This is about you being healthy, feeling great, and enjoying life for a long time to come.
The newsletter that came out this morning touches on several things, and we have your emails. If you haven't signed up for the email, then send it to us, because we're going to send little ditties throughout the week as we find stuff. So go to heartinessapproach.com and sign up. And I think that's about enough covered for this first time.
So that's a great start. It really sets the groundwork for you. You know what we're going to be talking about and just how ridiculous we want you to be.
I do want to say this. It's on our Facebook page, Heartiness Approach Facebook page, that I sent a message out this morning. That's where we're going to kind of do the forum if you have questions, things like that. I'm not going to do one-on-one consultations. You can ask the questions and we'll all answer them together, but that's...
You're not a practitioner.
I'm not a practitioner. But I do, I mean, I definitely have the training in it, and I plan to present stuff, but if one-on-one consultation is very expensive, and I don't think you want to pay for that. I guess I'll just say it that way. We are working on a cookbook, and we are working on a 12-week course. We have taught it many times. In the first 3 or 4 years, we taught it a lot. It's a 12-week course.
An in-person kind of course. So we're trying to reformulate it
and have it be online.
Update it with some of the new things that
one will cost a little bit, not astronomical by any means. But the 30-day one is totally free, and we hope you are excited to come along and learn. So today, go get some fresh vegetables, add a little cheese and eggs and meat if you eat meat, and add some nuts. And it's better if you
get fresh nuts, not those that have...
It's also better if you soak your nuts and then dehydrate them, because they digest a lot better for you. Nuts are super important. We'll talk about that when we talk about the fats. If you're using peanut butter, make sure it's only got peanuts in it.
You can read the labels, and there's some ingredients, peanuts.
Yeah.
If it says that, you're in good shape. If it has a lot of other hard to read things in there, put it back.
Yeah. So the carbohydrates that you can get are your fruits and vegetables, fruits and your starchy vegetables. So we'll start there right now. So if I covered all of them, the protein, yep. Okay, coconut oil, olive oil, and grass-fed butter. That's all I'll tell you today on the fats. But at least you can eat, and it's good. And I have several recipes that have been out there, especially breakfast. Don't skip breakfast. I talk about that in the newsletter. So
we do recognize that the kinds of foods we're talking about are more expensive. It truly is. It's that way. And there's nothing we can say about it.
The price is going down. I can tell you the price is going down because more people are demanding it.
As it becomes more popular, there's more available, so it's helping a lot that way. But but keep in mind, this is for you, this is for your body, so it's a good thing. But the cost of a lot of those foods is what is driving us to homestead, so that we it's part of its cost and part of its quality, but between the two of them, it makes raising our own everything that we possibly can much better for us, both for the pocketbook and also for the tummy. In a lot of cases, for the taste. Some of the tomatoes we've gotten recently, the strawberries.
Okay, I do have one more thing I need to say.
One more?
Because it's in the newsletter, and I talk about, like, the very first sentence starts with the mouth and ends with, where, and that's the digestive system. So when you put things in your mouth, this is where you find your enjoyment. This is where you want to sit and eat and savor your food.
Chew it thoroughly.
Chew it.
I'm still trying to learn that
He was so good, and now in the last year, he's just like going...
You know why?
No. Stress.
Stress is part of it. And we haven't followed our snack in between.
Yeah.
And so come time to eat, I'm hungry. And those reflective responses, eat, get it in there, we're hungry. I don't chew like I should.
So you have to chew it until it's called chyme, C-H-I-M-E. You have to chew it until it's really mushy. Don't swallow whole pieces. It causes bad things in your gut.
It stresses
I can't believe we forgot
system.
to tell what they're supposed to eat. Breakfast, a snack around 10 o'clock. Lunch, a snack around 2 or 3. Dinner, and if you must, a snack in the evening, but stop eating 2 or 3 hours before you go to sleep.
Don't go to bed with full time.
When we are working so hard on the homestead, we eat because we are burning the energy.
Yeah.
So many of you are going to say, I don't eat breakfast and I don't need the snacks because I'll just get fat. Wrong. You have to eat breakfast.
The snacks help me enjoy less food at each meal. I'm not as hungry. I'm not famished, and I can eat slower and eat less and be satisfied. And by spreading it out, my body is saying, hey, things are good here. I don't have to store anything. Whereas if you go a big span in between there, you put food in there, your body is saying, famine is happening, store that stuff. And the weight starts going on you. It's how it works.
It is. Thank you for joining us. Pull in your friends, like and subscribe, and share. And we will see you tomorrow for day 2. By the way, we are going to do this every day, so we'll even be doing it on Sundays. We'll just do it very modified on Sundays for us.
But it's important. That's why we're doing it.